All right, let's get started. The first step is to chop the ingredients. You'll need a cutting board and a kitchen knife. First, peel the onion. Finely chop the peeled onion. Cut the stuffed olives crosswise into 4 equal slices. Remove and discard the stems from the tomatoes. Then chop the tomatoes roughly. Next, peel the boiled eggs and chop them roughly. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Remove the frozen pastry sheets from the freezer and leave them to defrost. That's it for preparations. Now it's time to cook the ingredients for the pie filling. You'll need a frying pan, a dish, and plastic wrap. Heat the frying pan and melt the butter. Brown the ground beef until it's broken up and no lumps remain. Add the onions to the beef and cook them until tender. Next, add the tomatoes and cook until they've completely broken up. Add the boiled egg, the milk, the stuffed olives, and the raisins. Now add a pinch of nutmeg and the sugar. Season to taste with salt and pepper to complete the filling. Reduce the liquid by simmering until it has completely evaporated. Turn off the heat and remove the pan from the stove. When the filling is ready, transfer it to the dish and allow it to cool. Cover the dish with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator to chill. The next step is to roll out the pastry sheets. You'll need a rolling pin and a cutting board. Dust the rolling pin and board with flour and roll each pastry sheet into an 8-inch square. Next, you'll need a pastry brush to coat the pastry with beaten egg. Coat the top side of the rolled sheets of pastry with beaten egg using the pastry brush. Put an individual portion of filling on each sheet of pastry. Fold them in half diagonally to form triangular shapes. Press the edges of the pastry down to close the pie tightly. Roll up the edges of the pastry and crimp them to make sure it's completely sealed. Coat the surface of the pastry with beaten egg using the pastry brush. Put the pies in the preheated 350-degree oven and bake for 20 minutes. Cut the baked pies in half. Transfer the pies to serving plates and garnish with Italian parsley. They're ready to eat. Well done!